Be a shrewd steward. Just like the title, be a shrewd steward. See, we're all stewards of God's money. Even the money you've earned, listen to me, it comes from Him. In Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 18, the Bible puts it this way, but remember the Lord your God, for it is He who gives you the ability to produce wealth. And so confirms His covenant, which He swore to the ancestors. He promises to take care of you. He does that. He'll make you able. You can work. Well, I work hard for my money. Yeah, because He's graced you to be able to do that. It all comes from Him. And so that word's true. Let's go back to it, because even when I talk to people about it, it just has this negative connotation, because historically it's linked to the cunning and self-serving behavior. While it originally meant being sharp-witted, and it is meant as sharp-witted and astute, and it's often described of achieving goals through deceit or exploitation. However, what we're talking about today is biblical shrewdness, which reflects strategic wisdom guided by integrity and righteousness. Got to look at this the same way Jesus is teaching this to us. And we see that in Luke chapter 16. And we also see it in Matthew chapter 10 when He tells us to be wise as serpents and as innocent as doves. I put it this way here in your notes. A shrewd steward is wise and strategic with money. Being shrewd isn't about manipulation or selfish gain. It's about using wisdom and insight to create opportunities and manage resources effectively. I want to say that one more time. It's about using wisdom and insight to create opportunities and manage resources effectively. There's an expectation. God has an expectation on you to do something good with what He gives you. I'll give you a couple examples. A shrewd person will, here's some examples, some practical things, learn the art of negotiating and investing. A good example is like when you buy a car, what do? You just don't go in and buy what they're asking, do you? No, of course you don't. You research the car's market value. You point out flaws. If it's a used vehicle, you're pointing out those flaws when you're talking to the salesman. You want to negotiate things with them, like you definitely negotiate the price. You might want to negotiate added perks. You always say before you sign, throw in tint, don't you? That's what you do. You don't just go and buy it the way it is. That's not the art of negotiating, right? Or how about when you get a job offer? So many people get a job, they're excited, and they just forget to even negotiate the fact that, hey, I can do something about this salary. I can actually research what the norms are for this salary and negotiate that with this employer. You know, a lot of people just get the job, receive the salary, and just kind of get the work when you can actually negotiate that. Some of you are just thinking, well, I didn't know that. But you can. Another example, a shrewd person will solve problems creatively. Good examples when it comes to like education. We all know how expensive it is. Depending on who you follow on YouTube, you might have heard that it's a scam. College is a scam, right? But listen, we do want to educate ourselves. We know it's expensive to get into school, but there's so many different things that you can do instead of paying tuition to actually help yourself learn the thing you're trying to learn. You can join a study group. You can connect with people on social media. Everybody say YouTube. Ask Sergey Fitzgerald about that. He built his business on watching YouTube videos when he was in Colorado at Bible college. And man, did he make some money. I'll never forget getting that phone call. Hey, Pastor James, what's going on? I'm up on his roof, man. You're never going to believe this. I just got a $10,000 roof job. How do you know how to roof? I don't. I watched a YouTube video. Might be watching this. He does say hi, by the way. I did speak to him this morning. 6:30 a.m. I had to remind him what time it was. A shrewd person will position themselves to create and transfer wealth. A good example of that is an inheritance. Some of you have received an inheritance. Some of you will receive an inheritance. For a lot of Americans, what we do with that inheritance is we go on the best vacation, man. We go and buy that car we've been wanting, that Tesla or something like that. We spend it on what we want for the here and the now. But a good way to invest that could be maybe into some rental property where you can generate cash flow, build long-term wealth with it that you can one day pass down to someone you love. For it says in Proverbs, a good person leaves an inheritance for their children's children. But a sinner's wealth is stored up for the righteous. In other words, what God is saying is the money that's here on earth, it'll find its way to the righteous. Mark my words. And you can be a part of that or not. Either way, it's going to find its way into the righteous hands. That's a promise. And that's from the book of wisdom. Your children's children. Think about that. Are you leaving an inheritance for your grandchildren? It's the heart of God. You write this down. The shrewd stewardship is about multiplying resources, not hoarding them. Why? So you can be positioned to give generously and make an impact. I'll say that one more time. Shrewd stewardship is about multiplying resources, not hoarding them. It's not hoarding them. It's all about being positioned to give generously and make an impact. There's no better way to live than living generously, I'm telling you. And for some of you, it's foreign when you hear me say that. For some of you, that's foreign. And I'm telling you, it doesn't need to be. It doesn't need to be.